Call of Duty Warzone is one of the most popular battle royale games, and there are no two ways about it. But like all good things, Warzone 2 had to end, except that technically it isn't. As Warzone takes its final breath, Activision is looking to launch the second version of Warzone. So in today's video, we'll talk about Call of Duty Warzone 2's trailer and how preloading has already begun. Starting off with a little overview of the trailer. Call of Duty Warzone 2 is just around the corner, and it's taking advantage of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2's success. To be fair, it's a pretty obvious move from Activision, given that the original Warzone was also released as a pair with Modern Warfare. As it makes its way to our systems, the trailer for Warzone 2 gives us everything that we've come to expect from previous versions of the game. Excitingly, it offers all the action and thrill of a battle royale game. The new game will have drastic changes to differentiate it from its predecessor and give it a refreshed look and feel. These would include a new map, vehicles, weapons, and in theory, even game mechanics. Surprisingly, the first three on this list have already been shown in the trailer. Call of Duty revealed the 2 minutes, 4-second launch trailer across social media on the 14th of November, which, along with all the bells and whistles of the new game, also reveals the launch date for the game to be the 16th of November. While there is still time before you can jump in to fight 150 other people, you can already download the game to preload and save on time once servers finally go online and access is granted. Following up with some details about the game. As we expect it to be, Warzone 2.0 will be a free-to-play battle royale game. Some people often wonder how free-to-play games make money, and the answer lies in your thirst for those battle passes and those gorgeous collaboration skins. While you can continue to play the game for free, it's no hidden fact that most players spend real money in the store to buy exclusive skins and packages. And if not that, there are only a few players that won't even buy a battle pass. So even at its worst, the game generates a lot of revenue via this model. Let's now talk about the map, the gulag, and the support. The new map in Warzone 2.0 is called Al-Mazrah. By the looks of it, it's set in a desert environment, but has all sorts of the terrain surrounding it. For example, rivers, towns, and even high-rise cities. It follows the same pattern that Verdansk and Caldera were built upon in the original Warzone. Interestingly, there are also some locations reappearing from previous maps. For example, the Gulag also seems to be borrowed from previous versions, although it looks like instead of the usual 1v1, this time it'll be a 2v2. Not sure how that'll work, but if there's any lesson from the previous iterations of Warzone, it's that the game makers like to experiment with different things and keep what sticks while getting rid of what doesn't. Don't worry, we'll talk about this in detail shortly. Coming up, Al-Mazrah and how it stands out. We've already talked about how the new map is called Al-Mazrah and all, but let's talk a little about the minute details, shall we? For starters, the map has 18 major points that players can drop in. To be fair, they can drop anywhere on the map, but 18 areas are specifically designed for drops, and you know the gist of it. Much like the previous versions, it's an open world with many new POIs. Oh, and wait a minute. Did we tell you about the collaboration between Warzone and Hummer? Well, you'll be able to drive the new Hummer EV in the game. Not sure who's charging all of these amid a Warzone, but do we really care about that? Moving on to the loadouts and other relevant details. Again, we know you're no stranger to custom loadouts, so they returned with Warzone 2. But a step further, you've got a new backpack system. This is completely different from anything that has been offered before. Activision says it's a fully integrated system for DMZ and streamlined for a battle royale. Would we be able to use our DMZ loot in battle royale modes? Moreover, the Gulag has also been upgraded. In addition to what we've discussed regarding the change from 1v1 to 2v2, we also have an additional pain in the butt. An enemy called the Jailer would appear in the middle of the Gulag to speed up the battle and prevent the players from being something sneaky. Like, seriously? Wasn't it hard enough already? Finally, how, when, and where is the game launching? Warzone 2 launches at exactly 10 a.m. Pacific Time on Wednesday, November 16th. Before the launch, the current Warzone will go down for maintenance for about 2 hours. And that's exactly the call for the new kid in town to emerge. But you don't have to wait till the 16th of November to get the game. You can get it right now for free. Preloading has already started as of Monday, the 14th of November. If you're unsure where to get it, you've got a few options. Well, on consoles, you've got dedicated marketplaces, but on PC, you can get the game from Steam and Battle.net. Now, moving on to Call of Duty Warzone 2's DMZ mode, which is more or less like the Escape from Tarkov. Starting with a little comparison between DMZ and EFT. As the launch date gets closer, not just the details about the main battle royale are surfacing, but we're also finally getting a better look at other aspects of the game. One of these is the DMZ mode. The publishers aren't shying away from this either. With the new trailer, Activision looks pretty confident in the DMZ mode. This is especially true because the mode gets a special feature in the trailer. There's no denying that this new mode is somewhat similar to what we've had with Escape from Tarkov. For those who don't have a clue, Escape from Tarkov is a hardcore FPS game where players get dropped in small maps where they try to find loot for themselves. As long as you survive, the loot you collect is yours. Otherwise, you're dead, and so are your hopes of ever getting that loot back. Escape from Tarkov is extremely intense. For example, you can get your limbs broken, which then slows your movement. The DMZ mode may take a lot of pointers from this game, but it won't be as intense because it needs to appeal to a way bigger audience than EFT. Following up, here are some details regarding the new mode. Without waiting, Infinity Ward has already announced the details about the new mode. To begin with, players will start with an inventory that would already have free weapons. One of these is that they would be able to ensure that even in the case of death, they won't lose it. From there, they can build a loadout before entering the game. Once all that is done, players will enter the Al-Mazrah map, where they will battle against other players and AI over valuable items. One interesting feature of this mode is that even if you fill up your bag with loot items and still want more, you can place those items in designated areas on the map, called the dead drop locations, and return those items in the next matches. In addition to looting, there will also be other missions in the mode. For example, rescuing hostages and infiltrating strongholds. Not sure about you, but we're excited to play the DMZ mode. You never know, it may become more popular than the other regular modes. We've seen that happen in the past. Finally, a little more about this mode. If all that wasn't enough, hear us out. This is probably one of the most layered modes that Call of Duty has ever released for their Warzone games. For example, in addition to the looming threat of enemies with guns, you'll have to stay attentive and stay clear of other ways you could die in-game. These include sandstorms and radiation, both of which can end the journey for you. In addition, you're also in bad luck if all your squad members die. If that ever happens, it's game over. Everything that you've looted, it'll all be lost just like that. It may seem like a bummer, but in reality, this is what's fun about the mode, raising the stakes to such a level that you just can't go any higher. If you lose, you also hit rock bottom like never before. Infinity Ward has also given us good news regarding the mode. They teased that DMZ will continue to evolve as we go forward. This says two things. One is that the developers are highly invested in this new mode, and two, if things don't work out, they can always be changed, just like in the regular modes. That's a wrap for this video. What's your favorite part of the trailer? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you at the next one.